back, relax, and maybe get yourself a snack. Me and you gonna have a little chat about books. Hi guys, so today is the Getting Graphic readathon, which is a readathon that Eleanor from Eleanor Reads Books and I are hosting, and I'm really excited about it because we've done it once before and it was super good fun. So the aim is 24 hours of non-stop, or as much reading as you possibly can, of graphic novels, comics, art books, mangas, and all that sort of stuff. So I've done a TBR, I'm really excited about it. I'm going to be running the Twitter a lot, and I think Eleanor's going to be doing bits and bobs over the day as well on there, and we're going to just try and have a really fun day. I think it's going to be really enjoyable and probably quite tiring, but I'm enjoying it. I'm looking forward to it. The last one was amazing fun and I read so much, so I'm hoping that I can do well again this time. But my first reads of the night are going to be the volume 3 and 4 of Wicked and the Divine, which is by Gillen, McKelvey, Wasson and Cowles. This is a series that follows gods who reincarnate every 90 years into the bodies of teenagers, and it seems pretty wacky. I really enjoyed the first 2 volumes, but equally they are totally mad, so I'm definitely looking forward to kind of diving into the next volumes and catching up with the series, and hopefully I'll like it. Hi guys, good morning. It is now 5:30 in the morning, so I read for about an hour. I was sort of online last night and doing tweets and Instagram, and then also I managed to read the whole of this, which is volume 4 of Wicked and the Divine. I've given this 4 stars. I really enjoyed it, and I definitely feel like it's better than, I don't know, was it the 3rd volume that had all those guest artists? I think it was. That one I didn't love that much, but volume 4 seems to be back on track, and I loved the artwork, and I think the story is definitely getting interesting now, so I'm really looking forward to going straight on to volume 5. So I read this last night, and I really enjoyed it, and I'm looking forward to carrying on, but then I fell asleep because I was so tired. I think doing a 24-hour readathon after a full week of work is quite intense, and last time we did this I had only just started my job, so I wasn't like knackered, but this time I was. So I needed a bit of sleep, but that's okay because I still read for an hour and it's still 5:30 now. So I am going to try and power on with other things. The first one that I've already started, actually, I did start this last night, was volume 5 of The Wicked and the Divine, and I'm looking forward to this because it started out in a different format. It's got like interviews with some of the characters and stuff in it, so it's a bit interesting. They definitely like to kind of mix up the format with the Wicked and the Divine team, so that's cool. And yeah, after that I think I might dive into some mangas. I bought the next 2 Death Notes for this readathon, and I've got a couple of other things on my TBR, so hopefully now that I'm well rested-ish, I can like power through lots of other stuff. So wish me luck, and I'll report back soon. Hey guys, so it's nearly 7:30 in the morning, and I just finished my second read, which was this one, Wicked and the Divine volume 5. And I really enjoyed this one. It really reminded me of the first 2 volumes that I absolutely adored, and I just think this one is probably the best one they've done in a while. It starts out with a magazine kind of, it's like a mini magazine within the volume, the first issue, and it sort of revolves around the gods and its interviews with them. And I just loved the way that came across, because it made these gods so much better as characters to actually see them have a sit-down conversation. Obviously with graphic novels, usually you don't get that so much. You mostly get dialogue in small bits and pieces, and you don't get any background or anything like that. You just have to get that from the pictures, which is great, and that's what I love about it. But also it can be difficult to really connect with the characters, and I feel like that little magazine issue was fantastic for doing that and like making people more aware of the characters and what they bring, and I really enjoyed it. So this one I gave a 4.5 stars to, and I have now officially completed one of the challenges, which is exciting, and that was to catch up or finish a series. So I have caught up with The Wicked and the Divine, which is great. So challenge 1 done. Now I'm not sure what I'm going to go on to next, but I'll update you once I have read something. Hey guys, so it's just gone 8 o'clock in the morning and I just finished reading both of these. This is The Power of the Dark Crystal issue number 1 and Skydol's Sudra issue number 1. And I really enjoyed both of these. In fact, I enjoyed them so much that I definitely want to continue on with both series. This one, The Power of the Dark Crystal, is apparently based off of a film, I think, or a screenplay, which I'd never heard of, but a couple of people commented on my video when I said I was going to be reading this and told me about it, and it does say in the front of this that it is based off that, so that's really cool. And I think this is an ongoing series. It says 1 of 12, and I think at the moment there are about 3 or 4 of them out, so this is still ongoing, but I think what I'm going to do is probably put it on my to buy list for when the whole lot is out, or when 6 are out. Whenever the volume comes out, I'm going to pick up the volume and then pick up the second volume if they do like 2. But yeah, I'm really enjoying it. It's about this world where there's this crystal that seems to be a source of power, and there's this really, really cute little fire demon kind of creature who has to come from her world, which is very far away from where the crystal is, to try and take a piece of the crystal back and basically give life back to her world. So it's a really interesting story and I'm definitely enjoying it so far. And then Sky Dolls, I didn't actually realise that this is the first issue of volume 4, but it's kind of okay because it didn't really spoil anything. And it totally hooked me in. This is one of the most beautiful artworks ever. It is quite like adult in content. There is a lot of nudity, there is a lot of soft sex and things like that, but it's an Italian series and it's been translated and it just is gorgeous. And so I bought myself the first 3 volumes in a bind-up edition, which is going to be arriving tomorrow because I just loved it so much and I couldn't wait. So don't have the rest yet, but I've definitely been set onto the Sky Dolls path and I'm really looking forward to reading the first 3 and then continuing on with this one and the rest in this series as and when it comes out. So that's really exciting too. So now I think I'm going to go on to my non-fiction pick, which was Susceptible, and hopefully I can get through this. Hey guys, so it is 20 to 10 now and I just finished reading Susceptible, which is a memoir. It is a black and white one, so it counts for the black and white art challenge, and it's also a non-fiction, so it counts for that. So it's a 2 challenge book, which is very exciting. And I enjoyed this. It had a lot more depth to it than I was anticipating because I thought it was quite a short book, and it is, but there is a lot of text considering how short it is and that it's a graphic novel. So it's about this woman called Genevieve Castries, and it's kind of chronicling her life, and her life has not been great, if I'm honest. It's been quite devastating. Her parents were never really there for her, and they set a pretty bad example. So I definitely enjoyed hearing her story, and I definitely enjoyed the art. It's quite simple, sort of pencil watercolour crossover, and I really like that, but it's all black and white, and it was definitely a really enjoyable read, if you can call a really sad story enjoyable. So I gave it a 3.5, and I'd certainly recommend it if you're into memoirs or if you want to try some. So yeah, I'm now going to get up properly for the day and get ready because it seems like a beautiful day outside. So I might relocate outside and do some reading out there, but I need to go to the shops first. I'm going to take a small break. I've completed 4 challenges so far, 1 more to do, and then I can just read whatever I like. So yeah, I'll update you guys in a bit. Hey guys, so it's just gone 1:15 in the afternoon. I took a little break to watch some YouTube videos and have some food, and then I went and sat in the garden for a while, and it was so hot out there. Honestly, it must be the hottest day we've had in England for a long time because I was dying. It was so hot. Yeah, crazy. It was really nice, but there were a lot of bugs that kept like trying to crawl on me, and I couldn't deal with that. So I stayed out there for about an hour and a half, I think, and I was reading Sandman Volume 5, which I have now finished, and I definitely enjoyed it. I gave it 3 stars. I do think Sandman is so weird. It's a bit indescribable. It revolves largely around the 2 characters of Dream and Death, and kind of the adventures that they get mixed up in with normal humans who have dreams and end up in weird places, and it's very surreal, like super surreal. It also has quite a lot of horror elements, so it's not one for the faint of heart. and I do really enjoy it, but I feel like this volume didn't have as much of Dream and Death themselves, who are my favourite characters, so I only gave it 3 stars, but I still enjoyed it, and there are a lot of words in these ones, so yeah, it took me a while to get through, but I enjoyed it. So now I think I'm going to go on to something a bit lighter. I haven't decided exactly what yet, but something. And I just had a shower to like cool off and feel refreshed and all that, so I'm feeling good, I'm feeling recharged, and hopefully I can read a lot more in this afternoon. Hey guys, it's now 2:45 and I just finished reading this one, which is called The People Inside by Ray Fawkes. This was my pick for trying something new to me, either a format or a genre, and I chose genre because this is contemporary, which is not something I usually read, so I thought I'd try it out. It also fits the criteria for black and white, so I've ticked off all of the challenges now, which is great, and I've read about 740 pages in total so far on the readathon, so I'm feeling really positive. And actually this one pleasantly surprised me because I was not expecting to really enjoy it, and at first I was a little bit like, I'm not sure it's for me, but then as the story went on, it was just really, really interesting. It tells the story of lots of different people as couples and the romances and relationships that they end up having with one another, and you basically follow one panel on each page, and it's the same people's story in the same place on each page, and sometimes the couples will split up and they'll end up with other people from the page, and it's a really interesting concept, and I thought it was done pretty well. And it reads a lot like stream of consciousness, so the words that are included, and there aren't that many, usually it's stream of consciousness rather than a specific story, and I quite like that. I think it fit really well with the actual premise, so yeah, I enjoyed it. I gave it 4 stars, and that's all of the challenges ticked off, so anything from here on out is a bonus, which is great. Hey guys, so it's 7:30 in the evening now, and I have been reading pretty solidly for most of the day. I think I've taken a little break here and there, but I've been reading a fair bit and I've been enjoying what I've been reading, which is great. So since I updated you last time, I've now read the first half of Death Note Volume 2, the Black Edition. These volumes all contain 2 volumes within them, so they're like bind-up editions. So this one is actually Volume 3 and 4, so I've read Volume 3 and I definitely enjoyed it. I'm really looking forward to continuing on with the series, but because they are mangas, they obviously take longer because they're about 200 pages each. So I've read the first one, I haven't read the second one yet, although I might do later this evening. And then as well as those, I've also read a couple of other volumes. So the first thing I read was Adventure Time Volume 2, which I absolutely loved because Adventure Time is just such a fun comic, and I was feeling like I wanted something just fun and lighthearted, and that's exactly what this is. So it was a crazy adventure as always, and I really love the little tiny notes that you get at the bottom of each page, which just make me laugh. So I really, really enjoyed this as well, and I gave both this and Death Note 4 out of 5 stars. And then the one that I most recently finished up is Lumberjanes Volume 6, Sink or Swim, and I absolutely adore Lumberjanes, so I had no doubt that I was also going to enjoy this one, and I did, and I ended up giving this particular volume a 4.5 stars because it just built on the smiles and happiness that I was already feeling from the Adventure Time comic. So really in a good mood at the moment, and I'm not really sure exactly what I want to go on to next. I might do a non-fiction just because I've got Ethel and Ernest by Raymond Briggs, so I might do that, but I will update you guys again in a little while. And yeah, really enjoying it so far. Hey guys, so it's now about 20 to 10 at night and I have been reading a lot. I managed to finish up another book, or finish up the one I started earlier, which was Death Note Volume 2 in the Black Edition. This contains Volume 3 and 4, and I really enjoyed this overall. I liked the first one in here, which is Volume 3, but I think the second one was definitely more exciting in terms of the plot really ramping up and things starting to just get super dramatic and crazy and like way more involved than I anticipated this series becoming, so I'm really enjoying that element of it, and I definitely would recommend this as a manga series. It's the first proper manga series I've got into and I'm really enjoying it, so if you have other recommendations for me in a similar vein, do let me know, but of course I need to finish this series up first because there is a lot more to come, which is crazy, but I gave this 4 stars overall, really enjoyed it, and I'm looking forward to reading more in the future. I don't know if I'll get to any more tonight, but definitely in the future I will. And then the other thing I managed to read is a non-fiction, and that is Ethel and Ernest, which is by Raymond Briggs. This is a non-fiction following Raymond Briggs' parents who lived through the wars and right up until the late 70s. And they basically saw so many different kinds of technology come in. They saw all sorts of changes to the ways of the world, and they were just kind of an ordinary couple living in Britain at that time. And so it's kind of just a really down-to-earth, really moving, loving, and quite argumentative everyday relationship. And I think they're just like a normal couple in Britain at that time, dealing with some crazy turmoil in the political landscape, the economical landscape. Everything was just crazy. So yeah, really enjoyed this, and actually the ending made me a little bit teary-eyed, because obviously they do die in the end because it's their life story, and it was just really nice, and it surprised me how much I enjoyed it. So again, this one also got 4 stars from me. So far, touch wood, I haven't actually had one that's been less than 3 stars. I've liked everything I've read for this readathon so far, and I'm now planning to dive into Saga again with the final volume that's currently out, which is volume 7, I think. Hey guys, so it's just gone 10:30 now at night, and I have been reading Saga volume 7, which is the most recent one that came out, and I still really love Saga. I just find it such a fun series, and although it has got somewhat convoluted, I still really enjoy it, and I think it's just super fun and super crazy, and there's so much that goes on. I do wonder if they'll ever pull it all together into like a actual conclusion, but I am just enjoying it. So I gave this one a 4 stars, and I definitely would recommend Saga as a series if you've not tried it, but I'm sure most people have because it's Saga and it's like mega huge right now. So I definitely love it, and I'm glad I managed to fit it in at the end of this readathon. I'm not sure if I'm going to get through anything else because I'm feeling very tired now. It is quite late and I've been up since pretty early in the morning, so yeah, maybe I'll get through some more things. If I do, I will try and remember to update, but we'll see. So that is for now what I've read. Hey guys, so it is the next day now. It is Sunday, and the Getting Graphic readathon finished last night. I think I actually ended up staying up until about 11:30, and I did finish one more thing last night, but I was so tired I just didn't update, and that was this Adventure Time Comics, which is a kind of anthology of different comic artists writing tiny little adventures in the Adventure Time world, and it's illustrated in all sorts of different styles. There's loads of different comic artists who are part of this, so it was very varied, and because of that I gave it 3 stars, because there were some I absolutely loved the art style for, and there were others where it was just okay. It wasn't anything special. Some of the stories were about 5 or 6 pages long, and those ones were the ones which were a bit more exciting, and some were just a page or two, so obviously they didn't really have that much time to get going. So overall I gave it a 3 stars, which means for the entirety of Getting Graphic I managed to read 9 graphic novels, which I'm really happy about, 2 single issues and 1 completed manga, which is actually a 2-volume bind up. So in total I read 1,589 pages, and all of the books I read got a 3 stars or higher, so I really enjoyed all of them. There wasn't a single one that I'd say was bad, which was great. So yeah, I had an amazing time. I was running the Twitter for most of the day, and going on Instagram and following the hashtag as well there. So I saw everyone's posts, and I was absolutely loving chatting to everyone and getting involved, and thank you so much to everyone who did join in with us. It was a really good time, and we really enjoyed it, and Eleanor and I were chatting behind the scenes too, so we all loved it, and I'm so glad that so many of you discovered new favourites and found new people to chat to and just had a good time. So thank you again so much for joining in with us. Your stars, and I am going to probably sleep in quite late today and just have a really chilled out day to recover, because I was quite tired by the end of it, but I had such a good time. It was well worth it. So thank you all so much for joining in, and I'm sure that we will do another one in a couple of months time, so keep your eyes peeled for that on the Twitter, and follow the hashtag as well, and you'll be able to get involved. So thank you guys, and I will see you very soon. Bye.
Thank you for watching my video today. Go pick up a book, then come back and chat with me again.